18-year-old Meydi Guzman Rivas was on track to graduate from Crystal Lake Central High School this spring.
A young Honduran arrested in October for missing an immigration court date.
And it's unclear if she's going to be able to finish high school in the U.S. because of her immigration status.
Now her Northwest suburban community is fighting for her freedom.
This child needs help now in a way that I've never had to help a student before, but I'm going to do it.
Mi nombre es Meydi. Tengo 19 años de edad. Nací y crecí en Honduras, pero me vine a los Estados Unidos en el 2018 porque fui víctima de violencia en mi país. Mi padre y yo llegamos a Crystal Lake, Illinois, donde me inscribí en la escuela. Y allí fue donde conocí a Mrs. Husser.
So Meydi enrolled at Crystal Lake Central High School in August of 2018, and when she came in, I was her first person she met at Crystal Lake Central. I gave her a tour of the school. I got her enrolled. We picked classes. I did her English screener test and got her acclimated to the school. One of the things that I think is super important is for all students, really, but especially those students that come to us from other countries, is for them to find a connection and to find that support right away in the school system. So building those relationships with my students is really important to me, to really find out who they are and what I can do to help them on their journey. Meydi has a great family in Honduras. They're a very close family. She did at one point leave her home to go study near the bigger city. And it was there that she was targeted by a local gang and she was abused multiple times and her life was threatened. And at that point, she and her family realized that she needed to leave. And so she and her dad fled and came to the United States.
Y es normal. En las escuelas en Honduras es normal eso. Eso es normal porque las autoridades están involucradas. Con las bandas y con las drogas y todo eso. Viene algún delincuente y hace cualquier fechoría en una escuela, luego se denuncia, puede perder hasta la vida el que hace la denuncia. Empezando con las aguas, los baños, todo está en peor estado, está deteriorado, y cosa que ese es un factor para que no haya una educación de calidad. Y es lo que aquí es la diferencia que hay, que aquí es de primera calidad.
Para jóvenes como yo y para mí personalmente hay mucho peligro por la violencia y la verdad allá no tenía seguridad y fue la razón por la que venimos aquí, para mi seguridad y para mi futuro.
When she crossed the border from Mexico into the United States, she was taken into custody by Border Patrol. When she was taken into custody, she was actually released on what's called a recognizance bond, which essentially is a promise that if you come to court, we will allow you to stay outside of jail. At some point, the government alleges she and her father missed a court date. When they went in for their next regularly scheduled court date, they were actually taken into custody at the courthouse in downtown Chicago. At that point, she and her father were separated. Her father was taken to a facility in Wisconsin, and she was taken to the McHenry County Jail.
I check attendance on all of my students, and at that point, I think she'd been absent for 2 or 3 days. And I made note of it, and then when she was absent for 5 days, I realized there was something wrong. So I called the attendance clerk and she told me that unfortunately she had just found out about an hour prior that Meydi had been picked up by ICE and was being detained. My heart sank. I didn't know what to do in that moment. I just knew I had a student in jail and I needed to figure out how to help her. I have a friend that is an attorney here in Crystal Lake, and so I immediately contacted her. She, the next day, went to the jail and had Meydi sign over the power of attorney to me. It means that she has someone she can count on. It means she has a home where she can live and she has people who care about her. It means I fight for her. It means that at the end of the day, she knows when she goes to bed every night that there's someone fighting.
Está bien feo todo el proceso. Nos tuvieron ahí, nos tienen muchas horas con frío, esperando que nos tomaran la foto, porque nos toman fotos como si fuéramos pues unos criminales. Nos dan pues que nos cambiemos la ropa, nos dan el uniforme como criminales también. Y habíamos 2 en cada celda, y las celdas hay 2 camas, por llamárseles así, porque solo son como de hierro y hay unos colchones muy delgados. Nos daban una cobija y al siguiente y pues a dormir, y la luz encendida todo el tiempo, o sea, era difícil poder dormir así día y noche, o sea, nunca cambiaba nada. Yo estuve, creo, casi la semana sin comer bien, o sea, solo para para mantenerme, porque la comida estaba espantosa y el agua también. Es de una fuente, pero huele horrible y sabe horrible. Estuve como 5 días sin probar agua porque no podía. Fueron espantosos. La verdad, yo no se lo deseo a nadie. Y se me parte el corazón al pensar en las personas que están allá todavía. Entonces, es horrible, la verdad, todo el proceso.
It has been so humbling and so overwhelming to get the amount of support that we have gotten from this community. I mean, first of all, looking at the school itself, the amount of teachers, paraprofessionals, students, just people within the school community who have reached out to me. I did reach out to our Illinois Education Association, and the amount of support I immediately got from them was awesome. Really, without the Illinois Education Association, we would not have gotten this out in such a public way. This story would not have hit the press. We would not have gotten the amount of attention that Meydi really needs right now to be able to get out of jail. The GoFundMe page, so many people have reached out to me through that. People have emailed me when they've seen the story in the newspaper or seen the story on the news. People have offered their homes for her to have a place to live.
This GoFundMe is being funded both by anonymous individuals and also members of the community. So the fact that this person has been able in a relatively short period of time to engender that level of support is astounding.
And so using some of that money to help her be able to survive and keep her spirits up and have some of the things that just make life a little bit nicer for her in jail, at the same time knowing that we have the money now ready to go, the moment the judge says she can get released and this is what it's going to cost, we're going to be ready.
We found out about it and we went to the McHenry County Jail to meet Meydi. Not even 6 or 7 hours after we had met with her on that Wednesday evening, ICE had moved her to Pulaski County. Pulaski County is 7 hours away from here. It is at the southernmost tip of Illinois. And she was the only individual that was moved. No reason was provided as to why she was moved at 1 a.m. I have to believe there was some connection to the fact that she got legal counsel to visit her. There's no other explanation that makes sense.
En McHenry estuve 3 semanas y después me sacaron a las 3 de la mañana, me hablaron por la bocina, me dijeron que me iba a ir. Y yo tenía mucha incertidumbre porque yo no tenía idea para dónde ni qué estaba pasando. Era mi primera vez que me iban a mover, entonces tenía mucho miedo y estaba llorando mucho. No me llevaron a las oficinas de Chicago, me llevaron como ya para la deportación. Fue donde yo me di cuenta que lo que estaba pasando.
I have always tried to see both sides of every political issue out there. I would consider myself a middle-of-the-road person because I do feel like I can always hear both sides and understand where people come from. This to me seems very cut and dry. This to me seems absolutely unjust that a child who had just turned 18 years old, coincidence? I don't know. I have to think probably not. That a child was picked up and is sitting in jail when she was fleeing violence, when she was fleeing the horrific abuse that she endured, when she worked so hard and she's so close to graduating from high school. It's an absolutely unjust situation, and I don't think there's another side to even see in this particular case. I just feel like there's only one answer, and that is she needs to be released and she needs to get back to school. And a judge needs to look at this case and reevaluate her petition for asylum.
We have someone who is in danger, is unrepresented in the legal system, is separated from her father, and but for her being in jail right now would be going to school, doing well, and potentially on track to graduating in the spring. And then you see this young woman who's a high school senior in a jail jumpsuit. And she's in tears because she doesn't fully understand what's going on. She doesn't understand why she got moved in the middle of the night, and only her. She doesn't understand why she can't speak with her father. She doesn't understand why she can't be back in school. It's harrowing, and it's harrowing to observe. So I can only imagine what she is feeling at that point.
I would say Meydi's spirits have definitely been a roller coaster. She cried every single day that she was in jail. When I see her every day in jail, it's hard. She's a child and she needs to be in school. She needs to earn her diploma with the rest of her class this coming May. She wants to learn English, but she can't do that right now. So I try to give her little mini English lessons on the phone every night. She loves to talk to my children.
Hola, Meydi.
As many times as I'm able to talk with her during the day, I do, because I know that she appreciates it. She appreciates the connection. She appreciates seeing my daughter sing and dance and tell knock-knock jokes.
Come on, let's stop.
My 6-year-old daughter asks me every day if today's the day that Meydi is going to get out of jail. So that's hard. I think it's hard for me as a mom to have my kids worried about Meydi, but at the same time, I love that they are learning to love someone else outside our family and to show support and love for someone who is in a tough situation.
We missed you!
The day she is released, we will be super joyful, and she will come here and she will live with my family, and we've got her room ready.
An 18-year-old high school senior, a refugee from Honduras, is out of ICE detention this afternoon.
A suburban high school teen is now out of ICE custody, released on bond yesterday after a long battle. But her struggle definitely not over yet.
Solo me dijeron, ¿vas a ir a Chicago? Yo por lo menos sabía que era una noticia que iba a tener. Buena o mala, yo estaba esperando la mejor. Que un oficial me llamó y me dice, ok, estás aquí porque el juez vio tu caso y está abierto. Y esa fue la mejor noticia. Es increíble lo que se siente. Yo estaba llorando, yo no me lo podía creer. Porque con todo lo malo que pasas, como los traumas psicológicos y todo, porque estoy contando, pero no estoy dando explicaciones como de cómo era cada noche, cómo fueron esas 3 semanas en McHenry. Psicológicamente era increíblemente horrible. Entonces cuando me dijo eso, yo estaba como que no me lo podía creer. Yo quería hasta abrazar al oficial, no lo hice por respeto, pero yo no tenía nadie con quien celebrar en ese momento. Pero mi emoción no cabía por todos lados. Y también cuando salí, me hicieron una fiesta. Sin ella no hubiera sido posible esto. Por eso, pues las quiero mucho a ella y a su familia. Ya después, cuando se enteró lo que estaba pasando conmigo, me ha dado su apoyo incondicional y eso es algo que también estaré eternamente agradecida.
Feliz, motivado. Eso me da fuerza y le doy gracias a ella. Sé que mi hija vive con ellos Es una familia especial para ella y para mí. Sé que el apoyo ha sido total. Esto me hace fuerte, me da fuerza de trabajar, me da fuerza de hacer las cosas mejores.
Regresé a la escuela y trabajé muy duro para recuperar todos los trabajos perdidos para poder graduarme y lo logré. Y aunque no fue como la graduación que soñábamos por el coronavirus, pues cambiaron un poco las cosas, pero lo importante es que lo pude hacer y que tengo mi diploma.
Meydi began her college career in August. So she began as a freshman at McHenry County College and has been doing so well ever since. We are very positive. We think positively. The idea of her being sent back to Honduras is just something we don't think about. It's not anything that we ever talk about. In my mind, and I believe in Meydi's mind, she's here to stay. She is a part of our family, and that's the only thing that we ever focus on.
No tengo idea de lo que va a pasar conmigo próximamente. No sé si me permitirá quedarme en este país o no, pero estoy muy agradecida con la familia Huser y con todas las demás personas que me apoyaron en todo este tiempo.